We established earlier that the truck belongs to Scania and the driver is employed by Scania. You have removed the truck, by Yellow Jersey, the truck and the driver. You have removed the truck from Yellow Jersey. Why are you arresting the driver now? Remember, he came with a container which has a seal to it. It's not an open container. It has a seal. Why are you arresting him?
Commissioner, the trucks were transported from Durban to Ireton or Yellow Jersey by the driver.
Do you know anything about the sealing of the container from its original source, where it came from Brazil, how that works up to it gets to the harbor, and from the harbor to the depot, from the depot it's now on its way to Gauteng. That seal there, do you know whether it was broken by the driver along the way or that it was actually as it came from Brazil? Did you know anything about it? Did you ask any questions?
No, I will be lying.
So you arrest the driver even though the container has an original seal, presumably from the original point of departure in Brazil. You arrest the driver even though he didn't put in these drugs in the truck.
By the virtue of him being the driver from Devon, we arrested him based on that.
You arrested him for driving the drugs?
For transporting the drugs.
Yes, driving the drugs.
That's correct, Commissioner.
Okay.
Warrant Officer Mahane, you came here to testify and assist the Commission to the best of your, at least, recollection of what transpired. What I really need is for you to be very pointed on some of the issues. More often you refer to the royal we, and you are here to testify for yourself. There come a point whether you did it or Mr. Mashaba or Chief Mashaba did it. So it can't be both. You can't be singing in unison at all times.
I hear you, Commissioner.
Yes. Now let's start at paragraph 18. When you say, so on page 7, paragraph 18, we say, we also interviewed the driver. Is it you or is it Chief Mashaba?
Both of us.
That can be, how's that possible?
I mean, if you asking a question, I'm also here, and so it will be you asking a question, when you answer, then I also pose my question.
Then the very same sentence, well, the very next sentence, you say, we placed the driver of the truck.
No, this one, it was, the arrest part was done by Chief Mashaba.
Mashaba.
Yes.
Okay. Please, the next time we see the word we, and where it's possible, let's try to identify whether it's you or Mashaba as we move on, please. No, that's fine. For now, I'll take that. Let's move on to paragraph 19. I'm just saying, keep in mind when you see the word we, try to identify who said what, who did what.
Point taken, Commissioners.
Thank you so much. Let's go then to paragraph 18, while busy at the scene.
While busy at the scene and waiting for other SAPS members to arrive, 2 members from Poisons Vispol, Sergeant Doe and Constable Mkwambiri, arrived in a marked police buggy and told us that they have received a call from 10111 about people who were impersonating to be police officers.
Just to be clear, while waiting for other SAPS members, you're still referring to Pakula.
That's correct.
And whoever you are hoping he has called.
Yes.
Because you haven't called anyone else.
No, it was still Pakula.
Thank you.
We then identify ourselves and explain the reason for our presence at that premises, and even showed them the bags that were recovered. We also showed them the arrested suspect, and they understood and even gave feedback to 10-111 via radio control. Though immediately after, we had a bit of an argument with them, because without even asking how they can assist, they asked us where we are going to book the suspect and the exhibit. I told them that we were likely to go book the suspect and exhibit in Alberton area because the scene started in that area. But we were still waiting for relevant role players to come and decide.
What do you mean the scene started in that area?
I was referring to the fact that where we first went in Rodikop before we came to Ireton.
So so your being in Rodikop, you're saying that's what determines, that's where the scene started, your physical presence. Is that what it means, that the scene started there?
I would say that, but technically so, commissioners. It brought some discomfort to us that members will come from Norway. We understand they got a complaint from 10-111. Upon arrival, they are now asking about the place where the exhibit will be booked and the suspect. I didn't meant that those things, I was just pulling their legs.
So you were lying to them?
Not lying necessarily.
No, it is.
Testing their...
You were being untruthful to them. If now you say you were just pulling their leg, you were not telling them the truth when you said to them, we are going to book this in Alberton. You've just said it wasn't the truth as you said it.
No, not in the context of telling lies.
It wasn't the truth.
I would say so, but Commissioner,
So what was the plan with these drugs? Where were you going to take them? Now we've established that it wasn't true that you were planning to take it to Alberton. Where were you planning to take these drugs?
These drugs were going to be booked at Poisons, and the suspect were going to be booked at Poisons.
Okay. So when you say that we are still waiting for relevant role players to come and decide, what were you conveying? Because this is your statement.
This is my statement, I agree.
So what were you conveying when you said we're still waiting for the role players to come and decide? If you've already decided they will go to Poison.
No. This was just additional to. But the fact of the matter was that, and even even procedurally dictates that because the drugs were found in Ireton, that is where the suspect and the exhibit must be put.
So these police officers would have known that. So you were not pulling their legs in any meaningful way because you say procedurally. That's how it's supposed to happen. So these police officers, you would not have any reason to argue with them because you say we started arguing about after they asked that. And I'm saying, well, they knew, you say. They knew because procedurally that's what happens. So they wouldn't have asked the question if they knew that these would have to be booked in Poisons. In fact, they would have told you these must go to Poisons.
That is why I'm saying...
Which makes me ask the question, when you answered the way you did, when you took these drugs and put them on the van, because they are on your van, and there's just you and Mashaba there. What was the plan? Boysons is not yet there, these police officers. They arrive, they ask questions. You say, well, the crime scene started there. And I asked you, why Alberton? You said, because that's the original crime scene. That's where it started. That's why Alberton. So I accept that explanation on face value. That's where the scene started. So yeah, on your reasoning, you would have gone to Alberton.
But rightfully, it was the drugs were not gonna, the drugs, including the suspect, we were not going to book them in Alberton. And because another thing, commissioners, it was very strange. Sergeant Ndo, it's a sergeant. Why was he asking?
No, forget Ndo and why he's asking. Let's talk about you.
That's correct.
You did not report yourselves to Boyson Police Station. Commissioner Khumalo asked you the question earlier that we've had other evidence where people who are operating outside of their jurisdiction, they go and report. We were told that's what you do. You did not do that. Boysons doesn't know you're around. Boyson doesn't know that you've got this amount of drugs. You haven't called Boyson to ask them, do you have space for this? But you say to us, well, they are on your truck. You had already decided they will go to Boyson. Make that make sense.
Commissioner, the answer that I'm giving to the commissioners is exactly what was going to happen. The drugs and the exhibit were going to be booked at Boyson. And Commissioner, just to take one step back, I'm trying to answer to the question, the previous question that was raised, that why I didn't phone 10-111. You know, as chaotic as the scene unfolded, it was because of this thing was sent to the radio control. That's why more police started flocking in.
The question asked about 10-111 was long before the chaos. Was about long before the chaos happened. You were asked the question. You have an informer, according to Mashaba, who says there are drugs there. You go there. You go to Yellow Jersey. It's just the two of you and your informer. And then you proceed from there. You go to Scania, and it's you, Mashaba, and your informer and the security from Scania, and the employee, from Yellow Jersey, the security man, and then you've got Scania people, Wenzel and somebody. So there's no chaos at that point. The question was asked in that context, that when you arrived there, why did you, as you are calling all of these other people on your way, and when you arrive there, you're calling all of these people to come and help you, and many of them are not available, why did you not call 10-111? The answer can't be because of chaos, because at that point there is no chaos. Nothing has happened yet.
I agree.
You haven't even opened the container. The drugs haven't yet fallen out. There's nobody else. So it's a different conversation altogether. So it has nothing to do with this.
I agree.
Yes. Thank you.
Can I just understand this? Was it your intention to transport these bags either to Boyson's police station or Alberton in this bakkie of yours without a canopy uncovered? How did you plan to move those bags from Erroton to wherever you were going to book them?
Commissioner, I would definitely wouldn't have risked to transport these trucks without proper escort, and without, like in an open park like this.
But you
It's-
hadn't called any escort.
No,
You
the-
had only called Pakula, and if he hadn't arrived, what would you have done?
No, Commissioner, the scene was still far from over. We were not going to leave until the scene was properly handled and everything processed at the scene. It was still very early.
But you had taken no steps to call the people who were supposed to process the scene. You had only called Pakula, who said he was busy. And once you verified that there are drugs there, then he might make a turn. But at this point, as we had already agreed, all you knew was that you found bags in the container and you loaded them on your bakkie and you had arrested people. That's where you were.
Commissioners, yeah, maybe because there's no timelines. It was not even an hour that we were at the scene. It was because if I must be approximate, we arrived at the scene between 8 and 10 past. The poisons guys arrived maybe 20 minutes later, while the scene was still, while the scene was not even processed as yet. So it was still very early to say, no, this is how we're going to transport. The intention of loading these bags at the back of the parking was solely to secure them. Nothing else. There was no other ulterior motive.
There's one thing I need to test with you before you deal with your interaction with other officers and even your arrest. I think it's in the stain exhibits. If you go to page 116, I'm not sure if the witness has 115 of the stain exhibits. Maybe to be fair to you, Warrant Officer, for the purposes of the record, it's CJC 217. And then it starts on page 109. Just go back to 109.
I'm there, Commissioners.
I think we've already established that that is your bakkie.
I agree, Commissioners.
Advocate, are we able? Thank you so much. That is your bakkie after the bags were loaded onto it.
That's
right?
correct.
And the police vehicle that arrived is that one that is parked right in front of the bakkie.
That's correct.
In that photo that is on page 109. And then you'll see that this is a News 24 or Media 24 newspaper article from the 22nd of February, 2025. Do you see that? On top of page 109, top left, where there's a headline, Update Crime Intelligence Battle.
I see that.
Just on top of that, there's a date, 22 February 2025. Do you see that?
It's
Yeah.
last year on the 22nd of February.
And what they do here, they deal with the disciplinary proceedings relating to General Khan. But if you go to 115, and this is what caused the confusion. Remember, I was confused about the 5 series, 7 series. If you go to the top of the page, you will see that the newspaper article 115.
115.
Yes.
Yes, I see it, Commissioner.
115, the newspaper article had identified the vehicle as a 5 series. and not a 7 series.
It's a 7 series.
And I'm embarrassed to have fallen for it. I should know better. It is a 7 series.
It's a human error, Commissioner.
Yes, but I am embarrassed. And then halfway down that page, you will see that there is something that appears to be a WhatsApp chat between two people. Still on page 115.
I see that, Commissioner.
Yes. And we don't know who the source is because this is in a newspaper article. But I think it's only fair that I ask you because you are here. I don't want there to be insinuations that it is you if it's not you. So to be fair to you, I want you to respond to this
You are more
and
than
tell
welcome.
us whether it is you who's participating in those WhatsApp chats. Because what is clearly happening here is that these people know that there was cocaine and it belonged to somebody and they had located where it was and they were reporting back to the owner of this cocaine that it is at this place and this is what is happening with it. So I just want you to tell us if it is you who is participating in these chats. If it's not you, whether you know who is this person who is participating in these chats.
I'll be honest with you, Commissioners. Yesterday, as I was following this, I was also, I don't have a knowledge as to where is this thing coming from and who are the people who were involved talking, who were chatting on this. I saw it for the first time yesterday while General Colonel Stein was testifying.
And I hope you did not fashion your evidence based on what you were watching yesterday.
No, somehow you align yourself and see, I mean, if...
No, you must tell the truth. There's no need
No,
to align.
I'm telling the truth. That's why
No
I'm so
need to align.
comfortable.
But you can clearly see, looking at that chat, that it refers to the containers and that the containers are still there. And whoever the other person is, if you look at the blue bars, they say, then send the pics with the seal so I can show the people. I'm getting heavy threats. Give me till 7, boss. I'm pressing all these guys. Do you see that?
Commissioner, maybe because I don't follow, I see this 2021, but this article was for last year, February. Am I correct?
No, but remember the point is, this chat was taking place while the scene was still live on the 9th of July, 2021. That's the point of it.
What time was this chat made?
Warrant officer, let's not concern ourselves with the time. Remember my simple question was, are you participating in these chats?
Not
If
at
the
all.
answer is no, do you know who was participating in
Not
the chat?
at all.
And if you don't know, you don't know.
I don't know.
So don't try to analyze
No, I'm sorry
because
about
as I
that.
said, we don't know what the source is. And I was only being fair to you by referring you to them so that we don't leave it unattended and people assume that it was you who was reporting back to the owners of this drug.
Like I'm saying, on this day in question, on the 9th, I was the first one to be arrested, and so my phone was taken away at around 12 o'clock. And if this chat, I will like to distance myself from this chat. I don't know the origin.
If we manage to access your phone, we will not find the chats that put you in trouble.
Not at all. I can even, this is the phone that I was using during my arrest. Even today, I'm still using the same.
You know we can retrieve.
The one-time view.
Yes.
Yeah, so it happened.
Let's leave it there.
Warrant Officer Mahani, just on the issue of Alberton, you had testified earlier on that you requested Warrant Officer Pagula to come and assist you. Is that correct?
That's correct, Commissioners.
And you further stated that he said he will bring some people to assist him.
That's correct, Commissioners.
Yes. Now, when Commissioner Baloyi asked you earlier on about Alberton, you said no, you were in fact misleading the two police officials from Boysens. It was not your intention to go to Alberton. Did you say that?
In all fairness,
Yes. But I put it to you that, in fact, when you spoke to Warrant Officer Pakula, you in fact told him to meet you at Alberton. What's your comment to that?
no, that was not the arrangement.
He is lying. If he was to be found saying that, he'll be lying.
No, that was not the arrangement. That was never. The only thing that I said to him, it's also in my statement, was that upon confirmation of the information, then I'll revert to him.
Then let's go to it's page 235. I want you to refer you to a warning statement. So we are on the exhibit bundle. No. He's, yeah. Two, 3, 5. Now, that's a handwritten statement by Sergeant Pakula. And I want you to look at paragraph 2 of that statement. Perhaps can you try and read that into the record? What's said at paragraph 2? It's right at the bottom.
Paragraph 2.
Yes.
I don't know whether it's contacted my immediate commander, Captain Mudupi, informing him that I was contacted by Warrant Officer Mokhane to assist him in a possible drugs, and that he should join me at Alberton. I proceeded to Alberton SAPS. I waited for him. I called Mokhane to ask if he will come, and I should wait for him.
I think it says, let me assist you there, Warrant Officer. It says, I called Mokhane to ask for how long I should wait for him.
For him,
Yes.
he requested that I should come to Ireton, Umnia Park.
Yes.
I arrived at Ireton.
No, that's fine. What I wanted to put to you, and perhaps if you go further to page, in the same bundle, 385.